Yo guys, back again with another post 1.06 patch update, and this setup is for Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to waste any time, I'm going to jump straight into the setup. So looking at the aero, I've adjusted the front wing a little down to 21 and the rear wing down to 24. These in my original setup were 22 and 28, so this is a shift to a lower downforce setup. But much like our Bahrain setup, I've brought the front wing and the rear wing closer together to give a little bit more emphasis on the front over the rear. I've increased the on-throttle diff to 65% compared to 58% in our original setup. Traction's easier to find since the update, so we can increase the on-throttle diff a little bit to give us a little bit more emphasis on higher cornering speeds at medium and high speed. With the off-throttle diff, I've knocked that right down to 50% just to help reduce a little bit of understeer at the front of the car. The suspension geometry setup, it looks pretty similar to our original setup with minus 2.7 on the front camber and then full left on the toe. But I have increased the rear camber, or I say increased, I've moved it further right, which actually decreased in rear camber, just to help with a little bit of rear end grip and stability. The suspension setup itself is actually identical other than the ride height. I played around with adjusting this a little bit, but the all-round soft suspension here just works really well and the car really felt on point and well balanced, so I didn't mess around too much. But I have increased the front ride height a little just to 4, just to make your car a little bit more forgiving over the curbs, which you'll be riding over a lot around Jeddah. The brake setup, 100% pressure, 50% brake bias, I'm not going to mess around too much with that. And then for the tyres, I've lowered these a lot since our original setup. The front tyre pressure is down to 23.0, all the way from 24.5 in the original setup, and the rear pressures are at 21.3. These lower tyre pressures are going to be a theme with all of these setups. You really need to crank them down just to stop your tyres from overheating. The threshold for where you start to lose grip is a lot lower now, much more realistic, so we really need to run low tyre pressures to look after and manage our tyres during a race. Let me know if this setup works for you guys and let me know how you get on in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more daily F1 22 content. But for now guys, I'm going to move on to the next setup and I'll see you on track.